Hello everyone, we are live. So welcome to our second In Conversation of the week. So this week is our virtual careers fair, and shortly I'll be joined by Barnet NQT, who'll be talking to ye. So I'm just gonna give them a few minutes to join, and yeah, we'll get started. Just requesting for them to join now. Oh, they've just joined. Hello. Okay. So for anyone who has just joined the live, we'll be doing an In Conversation, a Q&A with Barnet NQT. So just waiting for them to join now, and we'll get started with some of your questions. So I can see. Now. Just waiting for them to accept.
Ah.
So, hello guys, how are you?
Hello. Hi. How are you?
Thanks.
1 second. Oh, there we go. Perfect. That's it.
There we go. We can see you.
Yeah, we're a little bit chopped off. How are you?
Good, thanks. So yeah, as I was just explaining a few moments ago, it's our virtual careers fair this week. Obviously we couldn't have any companies on campus given the times we're in, so it's great that we can move things online and that you can come onto our Instagram today and talk to students about what you do. So yeah, great to have you here.
Yeah, really happy to be here. Sorry, Joseph, just adjusting. There we go. I don't have to lean down quite so much now. We were just adjusting our angles. So there you go. Yeah, great. Thank you so much for having us. We're really happy to be here. It is a strange new world. Coming a little bit. Luckily, we work closely together. Yeah, it's a strange new world. And obviously, in normal times, we'd have been flying over to Ireland to meet everybody. But it is what it is. We're very happy to meet everyone like this. We've been doing quite a few virtual fairs, haven't we? But this is our first one on Instagram, and bear with us because neither of us are brilliant at Instagram.
Hey, I'm
you are. I'm rubbish. I'm rubbish, but I can do the speak. Yeah, thank you for having us. Really lovely to meet you.
Thanks so much. So yeah, if you just want to introduce yourselves and give us a short intro presentation on what exactly Barnet NQT do, if that's okay.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, well, I'm Natalie. And this is Joseph. I've been teaching for 20 something years, long time, all across London, North London mainly, qualified head teacher, been a school leader in very successful, outstanding primary schools for years and years. Just love my career, very happy teaching. And the fundamental sort of ethos for us is that we really want NQTs to feel as passionate and happy and, you know, thrive in their careers just the same as I have. So that's where we come from. Joseph, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Joseph McCann. Nice to meet you all. Thank you to the university for putting this on. It's brilliant that they've gone through all this effort for you students. So really good. I hope you get a lot out of today's session with us. I'm an advisor for Barnet's Recruitment and Retention Committee. We employed over 180 primary and secondary NQTs last academic year. We're looking to do the same this year. We've got brilliant NQT program, training support. Natalie's one of the mentors for Barnet. So if you're successful with your journey and living and working in London, Natalie will be meeting you in September. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Joseph. Yeah, so Barnet's got, I mean, we'll go in a second to where Barnet is and who Barnet is. But just to say that, as Joseph just said, 180 NQTs last year, and I think it was 130 the year before. So Barnet loves NQTs basically, and we appoint plenty of them each academic year. But like he just said, once NQTs are in post in their schools at the start of each academic year, they're massively supported through the local authority, through their network of schools, and also within their own individual schools as well. We were just having a big chat before we came on about the impact of COVID and how a lot of final year students, you know, their placements have been disrupted, interrupted, cancelled in some cases. So we can talk about that today as well, because
we've got lots of interventions.
We've
got meetings with the Assistant Director and Director of Education of Barnet. Natalie's going to start formulating any gaps in your learning, anything you've missed because of COVID, and make sure that any successful NQT for the autumn term has got additional support and training and add on to what we'd normally do, just to fast track you, get you back on track, ready to hit the ground running for the spring and summer.
But we can talk about that in great detail. And obviously today we're going to chat about all things Barnet, but really what we want to do is help people answer any questions they may have and make it as, you know, interactive and helpful and supportive to your students as possible. So I know you'll be looking at the chat, won't you? So just stop us if a question comes. Just shout if a question comes up, or we can leave it at the end.
We have also got a tour of a London primary school, so I hope that you get to experience what a school looks like. We're going to take you to the library. We're going to take you into a classroom. We're going to show you the displays. So hopefully you get to see how similar it is to Ireland.
We'll show you the rainy weather out the window.
Very similar, yeah. There's no change there.
So let's talk about Barnet though. So in case you don't know, it's in North London. And it's Barnet, it's London's largest local authority. So I think there's 30 something local authorities in London.
32.
30 something local authorities in London. Barnet is kind of dead north, a bit northwest, but it's huge. It's the biggest one in both in population and in the number of schools as well. So there's 130 schools in Barnet itself. It's massive, which is comprised of primary schools, secondary schools, nursery schools, and some special schools and other types of schools as well. But yeah, it's pretty massive. So 90 primaries and 25 secondaries out of that. And what we always say to students is whatever school you're looking for, we've probably got it here in Barnet, because it's so wide and so big and there's so many of them. If you're looking for something slightly smaller, we've got that. If you're looking for something a bit more inner city feeling, we've got that too. If you're looking for someone that's got a particular approach or philosophy or, you know, ethos and way of doing things, we can probably find that one as well, because that's the beauty of having so many schools here. But what also happens, because there's so many schools, is there's lots of little network groups, and it's a very collegiate local authority where we mentioned and shared services. So you had a whirring moment on your face there, so I didn't know if you'd lost it. I
heard you, but your screen went, but I think we got
No worries. Thank you.
Yeah, that's fine, no problem at all. So so lots and lots of schools, great NQT program, a really gorgeous part of London as well. So again, for any of your students who perhaps haven't been to London either before or recently, it's a very safe local authority. I think because it's slightly out of, it's not in an inner city, it's slightly out. It's got a much more sort of family, community feel, lots of little villagey bits, if you like, within the local authority. Great restaurants, bars, gyms, facilities, parks, open spaces, sports venues, all of the things you'd expect in a big city.
It's a very young borough as well, mainly 34 to 54 years old as well. So really young, very hip, very happening.
Just like us.
Yeah, great link. Great links into London. It's very affordable as well, more importantly. It's not central London, so it's very affordable. You can expect to pay about £800 a month, but I could put together some price plans for anyone who's interested. I can give you sort of credit and debit account per month, just to show you how affordable it would be.
Great. I think that gave us a good kind of background. Anything? Sorry, we about to jump in there, Natalie.
We can carry on if you want, but we don't stop. So how long have we got?
No, we have another good bit. We're only 10 minutes in, so Yeah, just for anyone that's watching, I suppose, anyone who's looking to apply or looking to maybe go for an interview, what would, based on your own experience, what makes like a potential candidate maybe stand out within a school that you work with in Barnet?
Yeah, absolutely. Should I take that one?
Yes, please.
Yeah, definitely. I think if you're have you got secondaries and primaries here today?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fantastic. So if you're secondary, it's very much about the passion for your subject. So obviously you've chosen to teach that subject via your undergrad, via your own, personal preferences and experiences and passion. And the head teachers really want to see that passion for your subject and that deep knowledge of your subject coming through as much as possible. Lots of, and it's just, in a sense, the next bit is for primaries as well, because you can learn all about the job and the different techniques and strategies, and you can perfect things in your NQT year. Your NQT years are for continued development and for learning. You're not expected to be the finished product as soon as you get your NQT post. But it's a 2-year NQT program here now, a 2-year NQT induction here now for all newly qualified teachers. And those 2 years are for you to learn, develop, continue all the stuff you've been learning at university, particularly if you've been impacted by COVID, like we were saying earlier. So all the different strategies, all the other ideas and all the other techniques, and this works and this doesn't work, and show me exactly what this bit means again. You can learn all of that in your NQT year and in the rest of your placements this academic year. But there are certain things you maybe can't learn, or they're harder to to gather, to gain, and that is passion for your subject, like deep passion for your subject, how much you love it and are enthralled by it and want to, show that to the children and have them be really inspired and engaged and enthralled by that subject as well. And although primary obviously teach a whole range of subjects, it's the same thing there. There's something about you as a person, your character, your personality, your persona, how you are in front of the class, how engaging you are. That is something that's a little bit untaught. So in a way, that's what stands out for head teachers. And what our head teachers want to do at the moment is, because we live in a virtual world and we're very used to working like this now, they really want to meet people over Zoom or FaceTime or Teams or, whatever platform they want to use, and actually just get to know you like this, because apparently we make up our mind about someone in 7 seconds. So they're going to give you longer than 7 seconds. Yeah, we're done now, but they're going to give you longer than 7 seconds. But that whole rapport, human to human connection, are you a good fit for our school? What's your vibe? What's your personality? Do you smile a lot? Are you warm? Are you friendly? All those sorts of characteristics are going to have you stand out. Why do you want to be a teacher? What's the reasons you want to be a teacher? What are you going to bring to the role? And all the technicalities around teaching, they will happen as you go through your your training this year, and also your training in your NQT year. So I've got a very long way around your question.
It's very easy. It's very easy for the Irish to come across very friendly.
I know.
Humour, smile. Get that across. So it goes so far. It goes so far. Just be yourself.
100%. So shall I say a little bit about our service, and also about what the interview process might look like? Because again, impact of COVID, it looks slightly different. So I'll start back a little bit and start talking about our service. So we go to universities, we meet fantastic students, whether it's in real life or virtually, it's fine by us, the service doesn't change. We have a team of teachers like myself, QTS people who are on hand to speak to you next week, the week after, whichever week suits you, on the phone, to get to know you. Because like I was just saying earlier, we want to know about you. We want to know what your background is, why you wanted to be a teacher, what your passions are, what you bring to the role, what your skills are as a teacher so far, what things you're working on as a teacher. We're nosy and we want to know absolutely everything about you as a final year student, because the more we know about you, the better chance we've got of matching you with one of our fantastic schools. So anyone that's interested in working in London, I think our website and job ads have gone up on your Instagram page, haven't they? And I know they'll be up for the week or whatever.
Please share with everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. Jump on. We've got a gorgeous website. It's got loads of information about Barnet itself, and there's also a registration box where you can click in there and register any details. That comes straight through to our email addresses, so we'll pick that up immediately. And then anyone that expresses their interest via the website, or I think our emails are somewhere as well, you're very welcome to get in touch with us anyway. Anyone who does register their interest, either myself, Joseph, or a colleague of ours called Leah, who I think's following somewhere today, so shout out to Leah. We have a consultation with you. It's about half an hour long on the phone, and that's where we dig deep, find out all about you, you know, find out exactly what you're looking for as well, what your approach to behaviour management is, what your outlook on particular subjects or particular parts of education are. We find out everything we possibly can about you. And ours is very much a matching service. So because we've met with all of our head teachers in the autumn term, lots of our primaries, lots of our secondary head teachers, and they've already started to say to us, this is who I want, this is the sort of teacher I want, or if it's secondary, this is the subject that I need. Our cogs start turning while we're talking to you on the phone. We start thinking, this person would be perfect for, you know, this school, and it becomes a really easy matching service. And we introduce you to the teachers, obviously fairly electronically at the moment, and then an interview process of sorts starts, which I'll talk about now. Because I think because of COVID, like I just said a minute ago, we're all very used to working in this way. So lots of our head teachers, just in the first part, want to meet people over Zoom, over Teams, and just get to know them person to person, human to human, and make that. So we write a profile after we've had that consultation with people on the phone. We write a gorgeous profile and we send that to the head teachers and say, look, this is so and so. We think they'd be great for your school. Do you want to have a meeting with them? They say yes. And at the same time, we've sent you their website, their profile of their school. So if you like them and they like you, off we go to interview stage. And as I keep saying, oftentimes it's very much just a human to human contact on Zoom or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then if they like the look of you and the sound of you and everything you're saying, and simultaneously you like the look of them, the sound of them and everything they're saying, we move forward to a more formal interview stage. Okay. And if you think about a normal interview at a school back, you know, last year before COVID was a thing, it would very much comprise of the same four things. A teach, so they want to watch you teach a lesson for about half an hour roughly. They want to formally interview you with a whole load of teacher specific questions where they can dig a lot more into your practice and your philosophies and understanding. A tour of the school. And the fourth one, it might be a written exercise, or it might be meet the school council or meet the staff. It could be anything, that fourth one, but generally they're the set things that happen at interview. So the impact of COVID will change some of those things a little bit.
Yeah.
I think the tour of the school is tricky because, again, obviously for your guys, you've got the added trickiness of being in Ireland rather than at a university in London, for example. So what some head teachers have done very, very cleverly, very creatively, is they'll walk around the school with their iPad, just like we're going to in a minute. So, yeah. Or they'll have done that and recorded it, so they don't have to do it every time, and they'll pop that up on their website. So they've done that as a tour of the school. A formal interview you could do on Zoom just as easily as you can in real life. That's just a set of questions. One of our final year students is going for an interview today, actually in person at the school, but they're dialing in the governing body. So the governing body are coming in on Zoom through her laptop, the head teacher's there, and then the candidate, the final year student's there. So it's a mishmash of both things there. But, you know, that can be done face to face, or that can be done just as easily virtually. So that's that. Actually, the hardest thing is the teaching moment. Okay, so again, last year you would have been invited in, teach a lesson in your subject area or a subject of your choice if you're primary, and it's half an hour. The head and the deputy normally will watch you teach, and that's how they'll ascertain and gauge your potential. I think I'll say at this point, they're not looking for the finished product. They're not looking for the finished product, definitely. It's only January, isn't it? So guys that have been, students of yours that have been doing a PGCE, or whatever the equivalent there is, do you know?
Yeah,
it's a PGCE, isn't it?
You
know, they've only had a very short introduction to teaching, and even students who've been doing the longer degree, they may have had placements interrupted by COVID as well. So they're not looking for the finished product. They're looking at that point for the potential that you're going to have and bring to the role as an NQT. So that's the hardest part, because how do you teach a lesson when schools are closed?
Yeah.
You're in Ireland, we're over here as well. So I'll share a couple of ideas that schools have been having, if that's useful. So first of all, one of the ones I've heard quite a few times is plan your lesson, and obviously share that plan with the interview panel beforehand. Plan your lesson, and then over Zoom or FaceTime, you talk that lesson through in enormous detail, what you would do, why you would do it, what you think the impact of that bit would be, what you think a misconception around here might be, what you expect the students to say at that point, you know, what you expect the lower ability, the middle ability, the higher abilities to be able to do, why you would do this bit, why you would do that bit. So that is different, very different to teaching a lesson. You know, teaching a lesson, you're just going to do all those things automatically. But when you're talking about it kind of theoretically and, you know, from a sort of overlooking kind of position, you have to talk about the wheres and whys a lot more. So why you do this bit, why you would do that bit, what the impact of this bit would be. So that's one thing that head teachers are doing. Another thing that head teachers are doing is anybody who's doing online teaching at the moment. Are your schools locked down? Are your schools closed over there at the minute?
They are, yeah.
Yeah, so same here. But lots of the student teachers at the moment are doing online teaching. So they either do a live session or they do a pre-recorded session that they put up on their school's websites. And so lots of head teachers who are interested in you as a final year student might say to you, have you got any footage of your, you know, your recorded lesson that you put on that you did in your placement last week? So some of our final year students have got like just a 1-2 minute clip of them doing their online teaching in their placement school, and they've emailed that over, or WeTransfer or whatever they want to use. So that's another way of doing it. Some of our London universities or UK universities, they have been able to still go into schools because some head teachers are still happy to have a final year student, a candidate for interview, come into their school and teach a lesson to quite a small group of children. But we have our key worker and vulnerable children still in schools, as I'm sure you do in Ireland as well. So they're teaching a lesson, a real live lesson, an actual real life lesson, but it's to a small group of key worker children. So that's the third way. And the fourth way, and I'm sure there'll be many more next time I speak to you all, but the fourth way is a student the other day went for an interview at one of our local schools, and she planned a lesson and she taught it to the interview panel.
Okay.
I know we had a giggle about that one, and I said that's probably the most awkward one, but I remember when I was at university, we used to have to do this all the time. We used to plan our own little lessons and we teach them to our peers.
Role play.
Yeah, all the time. Do that all the time. And once you get over that initial sort of awkwardness, and this is a bit weird sort of feeling, then actually, you know, it works. And the student and I were talking, and she said, shall I just treat them as children the whole time?
Yes.
And I said, yeah. You know, you say to them, oh, well done. You know, well done. That's fantastic. You can have a sticker. Or that's excellent. Good. Let me see you sitting up straight. You know, and I know it's weird, but that's what you have to do. You just have to pretend they're kids.
Yeah.
And they, you know, teachers, we're creative people. We're vibrant people. So they happily participated and sat up like the good little 5-year-olds they were pretending to be. So that would be the end of the interview process. Is you would somehow showcase your skills so far, and I've given you 4 examples of how that might happen. I've been talking a load. I'm going to be quiet for now. Let Joseph say something, or of course let us know if there's anything that's popped up on the chat.
Has anyone got any questions for us? Has anything come up on the chat? What time have we got this till?
Another 20 minutes or so, I think.
If we do 10 minutes of some questions, and then we'll show you around the school, just so you can
Perfect.
see your London school.
Yeah, there was one that came in there a few minutes ago. So it just says, hello, could I ask, do Barnet offer courses for continuous professional development?
Yes.
Be able to answer that?
Yeah, so Barnet Council have got a number of supportive courses that they can apply to. What we'd like to do, if you apply and just write in additional notes, some of the courses you're interested in, is it curriculum, is it subject, is it leadership, is it management, is it sport? I don't know. So if you be a little bit clearer, and then we will match you to the head teachers that are going to support you with that.
Great. Thanks for that. Another one just came in there, guys. So how many secondary subjects do you have to be qualified in, I think, to teach? So
yeah,
and
we just one secondary subject. If there is a second that you've got as an undergrad, then you could also do maybe 10% of your timetable. It's really useful for a head teacher to be able to, let's say, put you in the English department 90% of the time, but then you're a historian. You know, you really thrive off history. You could maybe help out for 10% of the timetable there. You'll have to do some general cover anyway. So yeah, one subject, but if you've got a second that you're happy with, we will support you.
And some of them, some of the subjects kind of link quite nicely together. So for example, we had a DT post just before Christmas, and the head teacher of that school wanted it to be predominantly DT, but they had a bit of food tech in there as well. So sometimes there are quite easy links between subjects where
they might overlap.
Yeah, there's a little bit of overlap, and it's more you can see how it fits together.
English
nicely.
and history always comes up. That one always comes up.
Maths and science,
yeah,
sometimes.
maths and physics,
You know,
maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, PE and some biology.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, please. Once again, once we dig deep in a consultation with you, we'll investigate this and we'll highlight that when we write your profile for you.
Perfect. Thanks for that, guys. Another one just came in there as well. Just says, hello, are we able to do our Drogheda probation period over there instead of doing it in Ireland? So is that, are they able to?
So the head teacher or the borough, our assistant director, Helen Morrison, will sign off your hours. So yeah, absolutely fine. As long as you've shown the correct progression, we will be able to sign that off for you for your General Teaching Council.
That's great. Thanks for that. There's only questions we got in so far. So if anyone that is watching wants to pop in one or two questions, I might just ask from myself, or I just had some here. Say if you were in campus this week, were there any like particular questions that maybe students would ask you, or what would be the most kind of frequent question that you would get asked, maybe at a virtual careers fair or even in person from any like current students looking to go teach with yourselves?
Yeah, I think the main one that's been coming up for us, we've been to around, I don't know, 15 fairs already this academic year nationally. I think, what support am I going to get as an NQT is the main thing coming up. I don't think there's a better programme in London. So if London is the place that you want to come and live and work, Barnet should be your chosen borough to try and get a job. We've got Natalie Creed, who's fantastic with the primary. She'll be your NQT lead. She'll welcome you. There's a group of over 100 of you, hopefully 200 this year, but we'll see. We've got really good social network, really good additional courses, support. So really good wraparound care. Yeah, relocation support. Once you've obtained your job, we'll make sure that you get housed in an area very close by, one mode of public transport, if not walk-in distance, housed with other fellow teachers or housed with other people. So just lots and lots of nurture and support. Your well-being is very important to us. If you've got family and friends in London, we've also got schools in the surrounding boroughs. Natalie's, most of her career was in Tower Hamlets and also Islington. Many of our head teachers have worked in multiple boroughs. So if Barnet isn't the desired location, but you still want to live and work in London, then still please feel free to apply, and we'll put you in contact with schools in other areas as well.
Yeah. And I think the other thing we get asked a lot is about a CV and a personal statement as well.
Okay.
So yeah, lots of people say, shall I send a CV? Shall I write my CV? and so on. Secondary schools are particularly interested in CVs. So if you are secondary, do have your CV, you know, starting to take shape. But I know we've got lots of resources as well, and documents to help you, and frames to help you build your CV if you haven't started yet. Primary schools do CVs as well, but it seems to be more of a secondary thing. But primary or secondary, do start shaping that, and we can offer you advice on that. And oftentimes when you're applying for a job in the UK, you have to write a personal statement where you address all the points in the person specification of a job. Because of the way our service works, and because we get all of that information from you, and we write a beautiful profile on who you are, the personal statement is something you can put on the back burner for a little bit, because oftentimes the head teachers will want to see that sort of retrospectively once you're in post. Our service is all about taking away, I've been there, and I know it takes so much time to recruit, and paperwork, and, you know, admin time. As a busy head teacher, it's, you know, it's something that's difficult. So our service takes away an awful lot of that time and paperwork from them. And similarly, for a final year student, filling in an application form and writing a personal statement can be something quite long and arduous. So again, our service is, because it's verbal relationships, you know, human to human contact, we capture a lot more about who you are than you can possibly present on your personal statement. So that's what's nice. And then the head teachers, we just cut to the chase with them and say, this is who this person is. I think because we've been doing it for so long, and because I've interviewed probably like 100 people, 200 people or something in real life. Actually, it's loads even this year. It probably might be more.
You've done the 75 already this
One
month.
day when I get 5 minutes, I'll count it. But anyway, because we've done that, and because of our background, and because of my years and years of experience, we're very good at just saying, I know exactly what teacher they are. We speak to them, we say, look, this is who this person is. We give you a quick sort of synopsis on who they are. Get them in your school because they're fantastic. So it takes away.
Don't miss out.
It takes away the paperwork and the, you know, the having to write and write and write. So that's the beauty of the service. So that's often what we get asked as well, isn't it?
Yeah. Was there any other questions, or should we go for a little walk?
I'll just give you one last question. Actually, just another one popped in, so two more.
That's fine.
First one has two parts. So for any Irish students that are watching today, any piece of advice if they're thinking about moving abroad or moving to London, and what would Barnet be like to live in, or like the greater London area, what would you say?
Yeah.
I've
been working with Barnet for 2 decades. I traditionally go to Ireland, Northern Ireland, Canada, New Zealand, Australia. It's a fantastic opportunity for you. Your well-being will be well looked after. You'll make lots of friends. You will be nurtured. You'll be trained. You'll be developed. You will be upskilled. There's a lot of money in the capital. There's a lot of support. Some of the best trainers are here in London. You will get very well looked after. It's not far. It's, you know, Luton Airport, Heathrow, Stansted, straight back home. You've got 39 weeks of the year where you're teaching. You get 13 weeks holiday. I'm sure once the flight's open, it's going to be very cheap to book a flight back to Ireland, £30. So you could fly away at half terms, end of terms. So lots of support, really looking after
and
you.
There's a massive Irish community here in London as well, you know.
Yeah. Joseph Michael McCann, nice Irish name for you as well. So, but no, it's a really good opportunity, nothing to lose, everything to gain.
Yeah, absolutely.
Last question?
As well.
Oh, sorry.
Was there 2 parts?
No, you answered that perfectly, I think. Okay. And just the last one that came in there said, do your services take much commission? So I'm not sure what that means.
Do the services take commission?
Yeah, so I'm an advisor for Barnet's Recruitment and Retention Committee. They put an order of 75 NQTs in every year. I'm also a CEO of a recruitment company, so I've got 2 hats, but we work closely with our schools. There's no charge to you as a teacher, not at all.
No. And when you come and over and get your post, you're then employed by the school. It becomes a normal contract with the school, as it would in any other way of applying and finding your job as well.
Great.
Thanks
so much.
Walk?
Yeah, I'm really excited.
I've got 10 minutes.
Yeah, no, thanks.
Take it out.
We'll just take it out of the we'll just take the iPad out. 1 second, sorry.
No worries.
Hey.
Okay, we need to put our masks
hang on a minute, I've got to turn it round. Yeah. Oh. And we're just going to put our masks on, actually. Sorry. Now we'll have the argument over who's holding it. I'll hold it if you like, Joseph, and you can. We'll swap over. There we go. Let me just put my mask on. Thank you.
That's what we can do.
I can flip it round this way.
Perfect. So here we go. So beautiful displays. This is Ashmole Primary School
In Southgate.
Southgate. It's newly built. It's only up to year 4. Outstanding school already.
Okay.
I'll take you to the library.
It's great. It's just a great sense of the school.
It's really good for you to see, guys.
Yeah.
Sorry for any secondary teachers.
That are watching.
Beautiful displays.
I love the colours. It's fab.
Yep. High expectations. So hopefully it's very similar to what you're used to.
Yeah.
If I take you into, was it this one or was it that one? I think it was that one. Let's take you into a classroom.
Great.
I just want to make sure there's no children in here. Okay, so this is a year 4 classroom.
We're in rows at the minute because that's how.
Year 4, so you've got your maths. The teacher did tell me, please don't show them the literacy display. Oh, sorry. We've got the science. You know, really good spacious classrooms. Lots of opportunity. Beautiful surroundings. You know, really nice. Look at that London skyline.
Right there.
Okay.
Lovely weather.
Beautiful. It is actually a nice day today, luckily. Imagine if it was snowy. You've got everyone's got the interactive whiteboard. You've got a piece on the Romans. So really good, guys.
That looks great. I love the displays. Really colourful, lovely.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful school, this one. Really gorgeous.
We're happy. Has everyone taken the time to go onto the website, leave their details? How have we done today? Have we got any feedback, please?
Yeah, no, I think we've answered all the questions. I think you've given a great kind of overview of what exactly you do. And for anyone that's watching this back, we have posted your website, all your details are on our social media, and we'll leave links there for anyone who wants to head over to your website. But thanks so much for joining and for giving everyone a great overview. As I said, it's been great to have you. Pity that you couldn't fly over and meet you in person today. Next
year.
Please tell all your student friends about us. You know the website. Joseph McCann, Natalie Creed. We look forward to hearing from you.
Great. Thanks so much, guys. And the school looks back.
Yeah, great to meet you. We'll wish you all the very best.
Yeah, good luck.
The rest of your studies, and hopefully see you in September.
Fingers crossed. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Guys.
Bye.
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 Bye.